Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Wannabes episode. I'm Morgan, that's Luke, and down there's Dreaded, and we're your host of the evening. You know, uh, I know that a certain few, at least one person on this show right now was mad at me because of the movie we are reviewing. But we are reviewing tonight the film Terra, which is available to watch on Netflix. It did release this spooky season, and fair warning, it's like a teen horror. It's like, oh, everything is screwing up, and why?
Oh,
Sorry,
what happened?
guys, my thing just got messed up. Why? Sorry, y'all.
That's okay. I mean, we can start news.
It's
Oh wait, no, you
fixed.
got it.
It's
You're
fixed.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My tablet, of which I normally use as a third monitor, for whatever reason, unplugged, so it changed all of my monitor setups for some reason. It
Wait,
made
before we continue, where's Owen?
It's the
Owen
technology
Owen
brand.
right now is relaxing out in the garage, so we're all right.
All right. So
Get the fuck out there, Owen.
I thought I was going to say, it's got to be him. It's got to be him again.
But yeah, just real quick before we dive into news, I do want to remind our chat that if you haven't already, go subscribe to us on YouTube because we are live on YouTube as well. And if you head on over there now or later and give the video a like, it will help us unlock emotes for
And
viewers over there.
Spotify.
Yeah,
And Spotify. Make sure
we're-
you check out
yeah.
the Spotify too, because I know a lot of people have been asking for us to get on the Spotify, and now we are. So go listen.
Yeah. you can
Also,
listen
check
to
out our
us on the go.
TikToks. Check out our TikToks too. I worked
Yeah.
hard on those.
And he
Yeah.
worked very hard on the TikToks.
We're working
Actually,
on
they've been,
getting
they've
more
been
up,
working
too.
very hard on everything. These two deserve the support.
Well,
watch
Hey, you're in this too, man. You
Yeah.
deserve
Check it out.
support too.
Oh, don't worry. I'm here to be the mouthpiece.
well, for now, shut your mouth because Dreaded, you have some news for us.
Yeah. So
Love you,
let's
bud.
start with some Marvel Studios news because
Ooh.
according to Screen Time here, Marvel
Ooh.
Studios are reportedly speeding production up for a Midnight Suns movie and are currently looking for a director.
A little concerning.
Yeah, that's concerning that they're speeding up, but I'm not mad at the Midnight Suns movie
Same.
because if you guys don't know, Midnight Suns, well, it's kind of it is just basically a team in Marvel that handles more of the spooky supernatural elements of
More
the
Moon Knight.
Marvel
That's
universe.
all that matters.
Exactly. You got Moon Knight, you got Blade, you got Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider. Oh god, yes, Ghost Rider! Ghost Rider! I mean, I'm still mad it's not Gabriel Luna no more, probably, but Ghost Rider, yes.
We get Punisher as well, if I remember correctly.
That's according to this picture I have here on Twitter, because Midnight Suns has a few members, because Wolverine's a member, Iron Man's been a member, the character Magic is a member.
My question is Blade a member?
I think so, yes. Hang on, let me just double check.
Luke, do you
So
know
what is-
is Blade a member?
What is the usual roster of Midnight Suns?
There's a lot of people in the Midnight Suns.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know much about the Midnight Suns.
Well, I wonder if they're speeding production up for Midnight Suns is just due to them not dealing with for the foreseeable future Blade.
Well, yeah, and you know what? We're gonna get into that a little bit later, but I think this makes that piece of news make more sense.
Sure.
You know what I
Perhaps
mean?
so.
Instead of Blade being his own solo thing, perhaps they're just waiting to make him a part of this, and then they can branch off from that because
That
I don't know
totally
what
could be.
I don't know what the fuck is going on, but there's
We
clearly something going on.
We have seen that in the past before. Black Panther made his first appearance in Captain America: Civil War before he got his solo movie, and I think it worked out too.
Yeah, it's not bad for an establishing thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they definitely need to nail it so that there will be interest because those are good characters. I assume that the Punisher that would be in there is the Punisher that's going to show up in Born Again. I'm really excited to see what they do with the Ghost Rider. You know, if we actually get like a good one. Blade, we do want Blade. It'll be nice to see that get a fair shot, whether it be Wesley Snipes or not. And yeah, more Moon Knight is always a good thing. But I actually want to see him fight this time.
Yes.
Fight a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we saw the man's fight, and I like maybe. Oh, I kind of do wish we maybe get a season 3 before we got that because we still have Jake Lockley who's not been explored yet.
Well, isn't there a season 2 coming out, or
I don't know. I mean, I've not heard.
Just Marvel Knights now. Either way, I'm with it. Yeah.
Either way, I'm happy, but I'm at the same time thinking to myself, I think I'd rather get that season 2 before he joined, because we already established him and there's some character stuff that needs to be done with him, if anything, first.
But it does make more sense that they're moving this up, given the piece of news that we're going to discuss here in a little bit.
Yeah.
So, cool.
All right. So yeah, there's my Midnight Suns news.
Well, in other news, we do have the official announcement for Daredevil Born Again and when it will premiere. So, it
2
Vincent,
days before my birthday, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. So it actually has been it will officially premiere, sorry, on Disney Plus on March 4th of 2025. So that
That's
will
right.
be coming very soon. Vincent, I'm gonna fuck up D'Onofrio, thank you. The actor behind Kingpin actually announced this at Marvel's NYCC panel. So yeah, fun news.
Hey.
We'll see how it
You know what
goes
else
and
they
how
did
much
at-
they change it.
You know what else they did at New York Comic Con, since we were talking about Dragon Ball earlier, Anthony? They inducted Toriyama into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice. That's very nice.
That's the best song. That is
Yes.
the best song, hands down. Anyway.
So, in other Marvel news,
Oh, well, just to wrap that up, very
Yeah.
excited. 2 days before my birthday. This show. I am hyped for this show. Like Daredevil, the original show on Netflix, is one top 5 best things I've ever seen on Netflix, and just in shows in general. All 3 seasons are phenomenal. I think they get better as the show goes on. Yeah, really pissed that it took so long to get more Daredevil, but this will be a nice rebound from what they did in She-Hulk.
Hopefully he's broken up with her by then.
Yeah, do you think they'll make reference to that too? Also, never again do I want to see a live action Daredevil in that fucking yellow costume. Never again. The thing is terrible.
Noted.
Yeah, it doesn't look as good as the red for sure.
No. All right, I'm done.
Well, in other Marvel news, during its final push in theaters, Deadpool and Wolverine took in another $679,000 over the weekend, officially overtaking Barbie's spot as the 12th biggest movie of all time at the domestic box office. So, nothing crazy here. It's just nice because Barbie came in strong and, ended up being a huge wave of just a lot of ground, like just breaking in general of anything and a lot of different things that not what we were expecting to get out of Barbie, you know what I mean? And
Right.
Deadpool is, removing it from its mounted position as 12th biggest
Well,
overall.
we've said this before, is especially with inflation and shit. Like, yeah, it's everything's breaking records now, but
Sure.
it's like you take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's by the time, I don't know, what the fuck is the next big movie that's coming out? It's not Venom, unfortunately. But by the time the next big fucking blockbuster from Marvel comes out, we're gonna be singing the same song. It is what it is.
Sure.
It's because ticket prices are fucking expensive. Of course, they make all the money.
That's why I go on $5 night.
Honestly.
Okay, so any thoughts, Shredded? I don't want to move on before you were ready.
Good for them. Someone sing the choir like a prayer song.
The only thing that bums me out is that for how long the movie was in theaters, it only is taking 12th. Does having an R rating really affect it that much? Because I just hate the fact that like Avatar is up there at number 1. Like, why Deadpool should be at number 1?
Yeah, but unfortunately, Deadpool's not groundbreaking in ways like Avatar was, filmmaking wise.
I think the PG-13 rating has more to do with it than the fucking scenery.
I don't know. I went and saw a lot of movies that were not rated for my age, thanks to my parents. So
Fair, but unless we want to talk about maybe fudged up numbers or something. I mean, I really don't want to do the research right now. But how long was Avatar in theaters as opposed to Deadpool and Wolverine?
Hard
Like
to tell. That was years ago.
But I'm just saying, like, what
Mhm.
exactly is the difference there? And I'm sure we could map it out. But
you
I
know
feel
what?
like it does come
Though,
down to
to
that
be
rating.
fair, the reason Avatar might still be sitting so much higher than Deadpool is because of, like you were saying, inflation. Tickets are so expensive, so less people are going out.
But they are making more money. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, especially right now when we're according to everybody else, not in a recession, though everybody still keeps getting laid off, whatever.
Well,
I will save that political conversation for a completely another day and not on this show. I just, there's so many people getting hit with the crazy prices being raised even at grocery stores.
right.
Everything else are like, we have to cut back on like going to the theaters. We'll keep our subscription to like our Disney Plus and we'll just wait for it to come out on Disney. I know a lot of people are kind of pushing to that side nowadays.
No, but you're right. And the fact that everything does cost more, it evens out. You make the same amount of money with less sales just because it's more expensive.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
All right. Well, one thing that I definitely wish I could get my hands on, but probably won't be just again due to pricing and money, is the popcorn bucket is officially announced for Gladiator 2. Now, I'm a huge Gladiator 2 fan, or Gladiator in general. I have up here where you cannot see. I actually have my Maximus helmet, and I also have Maximus's sword. But anyway, it is really cool that the one for Gladiator 2, which is actually hitting theaters on November 22nd, actually comes with a QR code that creates an AR Gladiator battle actually inside the bucket. So you like put your phone over and you see like a Gladiator battle happen within it. But yeah, this is actually coming from Fandango. So I don't know how you're supposed to get your hands on it. I know Fandango is sometimes partnered with AMC for certain events, but that news has not been announced yet. So yeah, it looks cool. It looks like the Coliseum where they go and fight. So I think it looks pretty cool. I think it could
I'm
have
looking
been.
at it right now, and it's
It's
got
pretty
AR fights going on inside.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. However, personally, I would have preferred a bucket that was Maximus's helmet. But this is still a nice piece. I still like the Coliseum. The Coliseum's a good look.
I kind of hate how much effort they're putting into these. I'm gonna be honest. Because they are cool, but like, what the fuck?
Not every movie needs one either.
No, I agree. But when did this happen? When exactly did we decide we were just gonna start doing fucking popcorn buckets?
The biggest one was no, not Dune. Was the D&D movie.
Well, they started that shit, didn't they?
The
D&D had one.
Dungeons and Dragons had it. They were the first
shit.
one. They were the big D20, which I have on top of my fridge.
Unaware,
and I think
but-
that seeing how many people went and got that, like I went early as fuck on Thursday to get that thing.
Saying, it's just more shit. It's just more shit that I feel like I have to collect, and like I don't need any more shit to collect. I managed to get the Deadpool one. If I could have gotten that Xenomorph, I would have gotten that. Fucking Venom, I want to get, but these things keep coming out, and you have to go to certain theaters and stuff. They're not just out for the masses per se.
See, that's the thing is
you have
like
to go to Cinemark.
Cinemark.
Where the fuck is there a Cinemark around here?
Flint, in Michigan. It's up
Taylor.
and Taylor. But so like Cinemark was the only one for the Xenomorph specifically. Like AMC had the Facehugger, which I still have behind me. Which that one is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I can pose most of its legs. But one thing that I have about this is like I wish when like places like IGN and everything else was putting them out, I wish they would kind of like let you know what theaters are going to have them. Oh, it's AMC's. Oh, it's Cinemark's. Because for a while they leave it really vague, and they don't tell you where it is. Like I didn't know Cinemark was at Cinemark until, yeah, you really have to do your digging for it, which is disappointing. As much as I don't want a single company to gatekeep having these cool things, it would be nice that like, oh, these brands like the brand like the, I think it's like Harkins and it, like those are out in Arizona and more like Southwest and everything. If Harkin was to release one, we're not gonna be able to get it here. You know what I mean?
Just as a comic book collector, I understand that exclusives are where it's at.
Sure.
So like I get
absolutely.
it. I totally
I get the reasoning behind it. It's just, I want
also capitalism,
to be able to get all
right?
of it.
Fucking capitalism. Just because they can. That's it.
Right.
And the annoying, but that's what I'm saying. The annoying thing is that they're actually putting in some fucking effort. So you genuinely want them because they don't look that bad. They're actually pretty cool. But fuck you. That's just another $40. I know you don't care.
Most I can say is it's more collectibles. I can't be too mad at collectibles, but you're not probably wrong on pricing though.
Oh no, well that's how much fucking Deadpool was. But I'm glad I got that one. Like I'm very happy. If I don't get any more, at least I have the Deadpool one, so that's cool.
Technically, you have the Wolverine one.
whatever.
I have the Deadpool.
Also, going back to what we were talking about
That was
real
more
quick
expensive,
about
wasn't it?
highest grossing
40.
R-rated films, I actually looked at the top, like the highest grossing R-rated films. Only 2 of them ever broke like the. Hang on, how much is this? The billion? Is it billions?
Yeah.
Yeah, only 2 R-rated films ever broke into $1 billion, which was only Deadpool, Wolverine, and Joker. Everything else is below. So yeah, they don't even everything below those 2. Well, other than Deadpool, Wolverine, don't even aren't even a contestant in the highest grossing of all time. Actually,
Yeah, and I think
I think that also
really
goes
do.
to show though, like how many R-rated films are also like AAA, like are like big name made. Because like though like people know like the Insidious and everything, like those aren't made by larger companies that do a lot more marketing and push it a lot more. Though they did get their cult following, I'm not giving it shit for that. But those were also R-rated. I think R rating does play a factor, 100%. But
No,
I
it definitely
also,
does.
you
No, it
know,
definitely
I think
does.
there's multiple factors to look at with these films too, though.
I think you're spot on with the inflation because for the longest time it was The Passion of the Christ. That was the highest grossing R-rated film, and when that came out, everybody fucking saw it. I was there. I remember.
Mhm.
So now we just got more. I'm just gonna say more appealing R-rated films. Of course, we would rather go see Deadpool. Of course. And then tickets are more expensive. I'm sure if something like that, if inflation was as high then as it is now, we're probably singing a different tune. You know what I
Sure.
mean? It's just
Absolutely.
it's about timing, where you're at in the world, and pop culture. Clearly,
all right.
All right. So for the next bit of news, though, not sure if y'all knew, but John Wick series director Chad
Stahelski.
Stahelski, thank you. It was the H that was going to mess me up. Has revealed he is working on a John Wick anime movie that will actually explore Keanu Reeves' character's past as a professional killer. So the action filmmaker opened up about plans for the anime prequel during a conversation with the Hollywood Reporter. He says he has the rest of the team. He says, sorry. He says he and the rest of the team are knee deep in development of a feature anime centered uh, on the series John Wick's character. It'll be a prequel to the John Wick movies that fans know and love, and it's unclear exactly when it will take place within his timeline, other than we know it's before the movies. But yeah, I'm really really excited for this. He said that they can be a little bit more crazy, a little bit more nutty in the anime, doing more exciting scenes than what they can do with real people. Um, and they can be a lot more explicit in their storytelling and world building than the TV show. So yeah, that's I quote, those are exciting to us without seeming repetitive, and that's how we're putting our energies right now. So yeah, and this was officially announced last year, but he's kind of pushing more into it, and the project is getting more legs going beneath it. What do you guys think about it being an anime? I'm all for it.
As long as it's good anime, good animation, I'm fine with it. But I'm gonna be real. You guys know I'm not really the biggest John Wick fan. However, you said that this was gonna maybe follow the impossible task he was given. I always kind of wanted to keep that a mystery. I don't think I really wanted to know
No,
what that was.
it's going to follow him before he ever got married and fell in love. It's going to be like his
It's gonna
origin
probably lead
story.
into the impossible task,
And
right? I'm pretty
yeah,
sure that's where we're going
probably.
with this.
Oh, maybe I read that somewhere else. Then actually, that they were gonna follow that.
But
Okay,
I
I could
want
be wrong.
that, so I'm with you.
All right.
I know you
Yeah,
got
we'll
anything else.
see. We'll see.
Not really.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I want the impossible task. I hope this does lead into the impossible task, and I like it because now that it's an anime, Keanu Reeves can keep playing the character instead of you needing to get a younger John Wick or younger Keanu. You don't have to worry about it.
Agreed.
Yeah, anything. I haven't finished the Continental, so I have no idea.
I haven't
But
either.
anything John Wick, I'm all for. I want to see the solo movie, the spin-off with Kane. I want them to do more spin-offs. I want this to keep going, and I eventually want to get a John Wick 5 where Keanu comes back because he's definitely not dead.
No.
And I want to see where the shit goes. I really do. I'm excited.
Do you think Keanu Reeves will come back and voice him?
Yeah,
I do.
100%.
With him doing video games. Yeah.
I think the reason why it's an anime has a lot to do with that. You don't have to get a young Keanu or a young John Wick. You don't have to deep fake him or anything. Just draw him out, let him voice the character.
Yep. honestly,
I'd be surprised if he doesn't do it.
I
I'd
would be
super surprised.
floored if he doesn't end up voicing John Wick
Floored.
in this. I mean, like
Yeah,
he's already
it's-
doing video. He's not a stranger to voice acting anymore. You know, he's been
He's playing
diving.
fucking Shadow.
Yeah, and before Shadow, he was in Cyberpunk 2077 with a massive role.
We don't
Like,
talk about that game. It is a bad rollout. It's fucking
I mean, listen,
posted motherfuckers.
it's gotten a lot better from what I've seen.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
has.
it's been fucking what, 6 years? It better be better.
Yeah, but you know, it hasn't been 6 years. But
I
either
don't know.
way,
When that come out?
I think
Came out
it's
in
been
2017,
4
didn't it?
years.
Oh,
I think
2020. It's been 4 years. It better be much better. Updated.
But anyway, I would be extremely floored if Keanu Reeves does not take up the voice acting for
missed
John Wick.
opportunity for sure.
If
Yeah.
he doesn't, just call Matt Mercer.
I mean, I will also sploosh for that man, so that's fine.
That's why I said it.
Voice looks like fucking Keanu Reeves, but voiced by Mercer. I can do it. I can get on board. But before we talk about my celebrity heartthrobs any further, you already know enough of them, especially the main one being, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Anyway, as you guys heard us mention a little bit earlier, Disney has removed the troubled Marvel movie Blade from its 2025 release schedule. Ay.
Well, Wesley Snipes called it.
Yeah, so according to Deadline, Disney will instead launch 20th Century Studios' Predator Badlands on November 7th, 2025, which is Blade's prior release date. So, yeah, Blade's getting replaced by Predator, which I can't necessarily hate because I love Predator. But yeah, as part of the Disney's release calendar update, 3 untitled Marvel movies have release dates, which are February 18th, 2028, May 5th, 2028, and November 10th, 2028. Because who fucking cares right now? It's still 2020 goddamn 4. So, the delay to Blade comes as a little surprise, given the behind the scenes drama it has suffered. But you know, I don't even know. Like at this point, like even the original Blade actor Wesley Snipes, as we've mentioned previously, actually poked fun at Marvel's reboot following its most recent setback, taking actually to X or Twitter to throw some shade. Literally, I quote, this is his tweet: Blade, lordy, lordy, lordy. Folks still looking for the secret sauce, riding snowmobiles in traffic, kind of rough. And he continued to write, daywalkers make it look easy, don't they?
Wow. Oh, listen, studios, Marvel, I know y'all got plans. I know you got phases. I know y'all got like timelines and shit like that, but sometimes you gotta let a director cook. Let the man cook. Like, y'all the producer, y'all putting the money on and stuff like that, and y'all got your ideas, that's fine, but y'all gotta, do you want someone to make your movie, or do you want to just do it yourself? Sometimes a man's just gotta cook a little bit, okay? Y'all can sometimes come to common ground. Like, I don't know what they want with Blade. I don't know what they were trying to do with Blade, but just...
Well, it sounds like Midnight Suns now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I
Sounds
suppose we
like
get
it.
Midnight Suns before we get Blade. I mean, again, we literally just said, okay, that's not bad, because again, like I
Maybe-
said earlier,
I wonder if it's because we know that Wesley Snipes is not taking on the role again for the for this reboot. I wonder if it's like, you know, we're afraid to just reboot it with someone completely new. What
So I
if
have a theory.
Huh?
I have a theory, but I'm gonna wait. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. To wrap up my thought was like, I wonder if they're like, let's introduce this new Blade, this new actor for Blade through Midnight Suns with a smaller role, and then roll out the full, kind of read the audience's reaction to the new actor for Blade, and then go from there.
that could be the case. We saw that for Black Panther, and we did see that for Spider-Man. So I guess it's not completely out there, but at the same time, we did get debut characters in their own films as well.
That is true.
So that could be the case. Yeah. What's your theory, Luke? I'm here curious.
So real quick, I think the plan all along was to, in fact, make a solo Blade movie and, and somehow fit him into the MCU. Like they probably had a plan, a plan that they were going to stick to. But then Eternals came out, right? And at the very end of that film, in the post-credit scene, it's Blade talks to whatever the fuck his name is that becomes the Black Knight. But nobody likes Eternals, so they might have got a little bit of cold feet there. But the plan the whole time was to, in fact, make a Blade movie, bring in Mahershala Ali right off of his Oscar, and maybe kind of sort of push Wesley's shit aside, whether intentional or not. But then Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool comes in, and he goes, "Actually, you guys, I want Wesley Snipes, and because I'm Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool makes all the money, you're gonna end up doing what I want you to do." And they were probably like, "Fuck, we don't want to do that because you're just going to remind people of the other thing. Too bad. I want him in my movie. This needs to happen." And then we're going to give him this line too. Fuck you. So now we are where we are. And I think the whole thing is that Marvel just has cold feet, but their backup plan, it seems like to me, is going to be Midnight Suns. And that's going to be either a soft reboot or Wesley will get one more time playing Blade because we have the multiverse. I don't know exactly where that's going to go, but that is my theory. And I do think the announcement that Midnight Suns has been pushed up totally tells me that is their plan. They're going to introduce, like you were saying, Ghost Rider and Blade, because they already have Punisher. If it's John Bernthal's Punisher, he's going to be in Born Again, I believe. And then we already have our Moon Knight. So there you go.
All right, but don't pull a Black Widow and wait too long to make that solo film, because that came a little too late, and I'm still pissed that Captain Marvel got a film before Black Widow did.
That's a slept-on movie, by the way. Ending's done. Taskmaster by the time you find out what's going on is done, but everything else, I'm here for it. I dig.
It is a pretty good movie, all things considered.
Right, and the fact, and look, actually, that's a good point. Take that into consideration, because you can make your own condensed little thing inside your sandbox. It doesn't have to be connected.
Mm-hmm.
Black Widow really isn't connected to shit. Just go ahead and make your fucking movie and just put it out and see what happens. We can figure out how we'll connect them later.
Black Widow just helps bring like Yelena and everything else for later stories.
Right. It's gonna pay off now, but like at the time, it's just its own fucking thing. Just do that.
Stop always trying to make everything the bigger picture, honestly. Well, I know Blade has ties to some big stuff, but just take small steps. That's all you really got to do.
They all fucking have ties. Everybody fights everybody. It is what it is. But like,
especially in the comics.
But it doesn't have to be exactly. But it doesn't have to be taken like that seriously, And we've said it before. It doesn't even seem like Marvel knows what the fuck they're doing. So just like you were saying, let them cook. Make the fucking movie.
Exactly. And just because Wesley came back doesn't mean no one's gonna dislike Miss.
It's Mahershala Ali, dude. He's fucking phenomenal.
That dude is awesome. I'm paying money to see him as Blade.
I think my theory is true, but I also think you're right as well, because there's just that fucking creative differences that we have all the time. Remember Edgar Wright was supposed to do Ant-Man? Like, come on, this does happen. It has happened. The same thing happened with the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, Doctor Strange. Like, just stop hiring these people if you're not going to let them do what they do.
Exactly. Then you take over, and I'm not saying we ever got two very bad movies, but we didn't get the best ones. Let me be real. Ant-Man 1, I mean, it's not bad, but I mean, it's not amazing. Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, I don't want to revisit that fucking disappointment.
Right. It's just, I'm pretty sure these people that you're hiring are good enough to fit them into your universe in a way that'll make sense while telling their story. Instead of you being like, actually, we need you to add this, make sure that goes in there, make sure they say this, and make sure they wink at the camera over here. Fuck you. Just let them make it.
And I know they can do that because even if it has still that Marvel Cinematic Universe DNA in it, Ryan Coogler gets to cook with his Black Panther movies.
He's like the only one that I can, maybe the Russo brothers, but he is the only one that I can think of that just gets to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yep, and I could argue the Russo brothers, because I do feel like a lot of stuff that I have my gripes with the MCU definitely come a lot from the Russos. Yeah. Now, to this day, I actually this is a discussion for another day. I blame the Russos for why I don't like Guardians 3, actually, probably. At least a part of them. That is a discussion we need to have another day, though.
Yes. Move on.
Yeah. So do we want to get to the last bit of news?
Yeah, so the last bit of news, which I already kind of preluded to in this announcement, was the release of Predator Badlands, but if you want to continue with it, Dreaded, please do. I know this is when you pulled.
Well, yeah.
I'm so excited.
Same here. I just
Yes.
can't hide it. Predator's back. Starring Ellie Fanning, actually, too. It follows the bond between two sisters whose relationship is put to the test as they go on different paths. I don't know what that means.
That's so vague, but also, can I just have
Yeah.
a fucking movie just about the Predator? Why can't our Predator be the lead?
No balls. That's why.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be
Fair.
love how I said that. I feel like this is going to be a movie set in like the distant future. That's what the vibe I'm getting from the Badlands thing. We just went into the past, now we're going to go into the future. But I still want my Feudal Japan one. I want my Prey 2. All right, if this is what it's going to be, fine. But that just means if your movie's good, like Prey, you're just going to blue ball me. You're just going to blue ball me. Don't do that. Let me have it. Let me have my sequel.
I will say this, though. The Wikipedia premise is a little different. While traversing a wasteland, two sisters discover their horrifying past, actually. Still vague, but that actually seems a tad bit more promising, actually, if you ask me.
Gentlemen, if you were able to look at
I feel like
Messenger in our
Predator
group
is gonna be
chat,
a metaphor.
I just sent you a link to the image of the Predator,
I'm not looking at it. I
like
refuse.
the front view of the Predator.
Predator.
How accurate is that?
I don't know, but I'm curious.
That looks AI, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not looking at it.
We'll see. I don't know. I will be honest. I don't know how accurate that is. But let me
When I
look
get an
at
official image, I'll take a look.
All right. We'll compare it. We'll compare it another day then.
But hey, I'm excited, and also it's going to be in theaters for a change, so that's
Yeah.
cool. Prey should have been in the theater.
Yes, it really should have. You said all the Predator movies you want. I want my Predators sequel. Bring back freaking Adrian Brody and Alice Braga.
Nah, bro, they're dead. They didn't make it.
I think there's a comic series based on them that I think they were still alive for a while.
Yeah,
But I want more of that. I want more of that lore.
Well, then I agree that there should be a movie that's just about the Predators and the different clans and shit. Just do something like that. That could be an anime movie. You know,
Okay.
we could do something like that. But yeah, studios have no balls. So
No, they really don't. And
I'll go back.
Alrighty then. But yeah, Predator Badlands, I'm excited for it because I've been a Predator fan for the longest time. I mean, sure, Predator Badlands might have replaced, Blade, but I'm gonna be real. I mean, Predator Black 2, he invited to the cookout.
So funny enough, with the image that we got of this, it looks like they're coming. It honestly looks very like prehistoric in a way because of like it coming out of the cave. Like kind of gives me like caveman vibes. But like the stance and this build of this Predator makes me think Jason Momoa, and I actually would love to see Jason Momoa take on the Predator, like take on a serious role, because we used to see Jason Momoa in really really serious roles. Like if we want to look at him as Khal Drogo, but even further back than that, further back than Game of Thrones, if we want to look at Stargate Atlantis and see him as Ronin, that was another very serious role he took on. And he was very much like a physical fighter and everything. And I think it'd be really cool to see him go back to like some of his older roots and actually get into the prosthetics for Predator and become a fucking crazy Predator for us to enjoy. Just a little thing I got when looking at that image that was released on the announcement.
Gotcha. Are you looking at the one on Twitter?
Yeah, the one you sent us.
Okay. Fun fact, actually, that's actually the feral predator from Prey.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep.
That makes more
Yeah,
sense.
I think they just used that picture because, well, that's the recent Predator.
We have
and
no
it's the
images
same
out
Predator
yet.
from Dan Trachtenberg, actually, because he's also
Right.
handling Predator Badlands.
Right, and we also don't have any images yet of what Badlands could even potentially look like. But yeah, I'm curious to see if is Badlands going to be like more futuristic, or is it going to be maybe put somewhere that's considered more like Badlands, like a desert or something.
Perhaps. Well, after considering what came out about the feral predator, suggesting that predator was more of a desert-esque type predator,
Right.
that could hold up actually. So we will see. We'll see what time period. We'll see what kind of predator we'll be dealing with. Whether we're going to be dealing with a brute like the feral, or someone really fucking badass and stealthy and smart like Wolf. We will see. I'm excited for Predator Badlands. We got over a year for that though, but I'm okay with. I'm ready for that.
Yeah, we will see what happens. I'm excited. Anything Predator, Aliens, all that sort of shit. I am here for it, and I'm gonna go see it. So it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. All right, I think that's all the news we got, correct?
Yeah, that does it for us on news, and we can dive into our movie review of Tarot. So, real quick to get into a little bit of budget. The budget for this film was $8 million. So, all things considered, a little bit on the lower end. This actually did release back in August and in theaters. So, as of August 2nd, 2024, Tarot has grossed 18.8 million in the United States and Canada, and another 30.3 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of 49.1 million. It had then moved, after its very short theatrical release, it moved into being streamable onto Netflix, which is where we enjoyed it for spooky season.
We didn't enjoy it. The fuck you? I was okay. First
Okay,
of all,
I've talked with Dreaded. I think you're the only one who didn't enjoy this film.
first of all, the fact that it's 8 million is kind of impressive because it's not a bad looking movie. Like, I will give it credit.
Yeah.
I will give it credit. However, no, there wasn't enjoyment. Enjoyment? What movie were you
I'm gonna
watching?
be honest. I was watching it with Dan, and I was like, I don't understand why Luke's giving it so much hate right now.
Oh my
Like-
Oh,
god!
I do.
Of course.
I get it.
So no. So hold on.
Of course,
Hold on. Pause. I don't love this film. I want to state that now. I have issues with this film, but I do find it enjoyable. Am I gonna watch it again? No. I'm never gonna watch this film again. But I at least had fun with it, Luke. And that, I think you have to get into that mindset with this film.
No, this movie's boring.
You're boring.
This movie is boring. Like, it's you know what? You know what I felt like when I was watching this movie? I felt like you. It started and I went, I already know where this is going.
Well, that's because they fucking tell you where it's going.
Nope.
This is the one. Okay.
Nope.
No. Hold on.
And
No.
it's even worse than
No.
that. The fucking dialogue in this movie is fucking terrible.
I know. So that is one hate I do have
This
for
is
it.
one
Is
of the most poorly written movies I've watched in quite some time.
so.
And no, time out. Because even the little things is a little thought out. This is so paint by. It would not surprise me if AI wrote this script. I'm gonna be dead honest right now. If they were gonna come out and they said, "Look, we just typed in some shit into ChatGPT and boom, we got the script for Tarot," I'd be like, "Yeah, I can tell."
So, what I want to say is,
Offensive.
there is a lot that if this film took time to improve, it would be a hell of a lot better. I'm not going to. This film, though, and other sides and other areas of filmmaking are really good. Now, the script, I agree. The script needs work, and they could have gone over, even just like take the plot away. Like that, I didn't hate the plot. The plot was all right.
The premise is all right.
The dialogue between characters, though, could have been adjusted, or maybe just let your actors ad-lib a bit, and maybe like we could have gotten something that felt a little bit more natural. But usually in horror films, I'm the person who's like, oh, I know where this is going, and that's usually a bad thing for me. In this case, it was a good thing, I guess, because they told me all the info I needed to know, and I knew where this was going right from the get-go, right from the very beginning. I actually, for somebody who always knows what's gonna fucking happen next, appreciated the fact they just let me know right off the rip.
As soon as the title card shows up, Morgan's like, "I got it."
Accurate.
But yeah, no. Hey, look.
Are you hating on me right now?
You made me watch this. Yes, I am. You're not allowed to pick anymore.
I didn't pick it because I thought it was going to be good. This is obviously going to be a good piece to discuss.
Check this out. I've got one. He's got one. You've got two. All right, you get one more. Actually, I can't remember what his is. What's his?
Do you know how many of yours?
Reminiscence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's my bad one again?
Well, no one will save you. Which you wouldn't even
Oh,
show
come
up for.
on!
Also the little things. So you're also 2 for 2,
That
bud.
was your call.
No, it wasn't. It was yours.
Little Things is my call?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to debate the other one, the alien one, because that one's so fucking funny. I'm gonna debate that
Well,
one.
that's how this one is.
No.
This is-
No. No.
Uh-uh.
No way.
Hold on,
No
let me
fucking way.
get my
Dreaded,
say my words
please,
now.
before I throw
Yeah, because
hands with
listen,
this man.
I'm on both y'all sides. Like this movie is trash,
It
but
is.
it's good
Agreed.
trash.
It is
was
not
so
good
funny.
trash.
Listen, okay,
I
look,
had a fun
Boring
time.
trash. That's
Listen,
that's
listen.
worse.
When I first started watching the movie, I was ready to hate this, okay? But I
Same.
noticed two things I noticed off the bat. 3 things actually. Number 1, you people are actually really, really stupid. Actually, hang on. They
Very
are,
stupid.
but not for the reason I initially
Offensively
thought.
stupid.
Not for the original reason, because when I saw okay, so first of all, it's a locked door. Don't go in there. Second, you had the back box of tarot cards. Now, Morgan, I think you're more into this stuff than I am, but is a kind of pentagram looking thing usually like on like a tarot card thingy?
It varies. Pentagrams are actually considered bad by the majority of the populace. Pentagrams are not a bad thing. They are not a bad symbol. So honestly, that was just there for flavor and probably because it's a familiar looking symbol and there's a lot of stigma around it. The stigma of pentagrams are typically wrong.
No, this movie does not deserve that much credit. Stop. It's there because it's trying to be fucking spooky.
I'm going to say though, going into this, I am somebody who, does tarot readings. I have a whole stack of tarot cards. I'm going to announce that now to everybody going into this. I am a tarot reader. So maybe that's why I enjoyed this a little bit more, because there were things I loved and I hated because of the fact that I do my own tarot and I'm in this world.
Okay. I only asked that because when I saw that, I was like, why would y'all touch that when there's a pentagram? But if pentagrams aren't always quote unquote bad, then all right, fine. I guess I'll give that leeway. But there's some other, hold on. There's some other shit that these people do that are fucking. There's one character who did the. Oh my god! Hold on.
Is it the one that runs away?
Yes, the bridge on the bridge, man. I'm like, kill her, just kill her. She's
Honestly,
just kill her.
It was funny. Dan watched this with me, and Dan and I had the same sort. We're like, fuck yeah, fucking murder her guts. Like, yes, get her, because they just had the talk. We need to deconstruct your tarot reading because it's going to kill you in the way that your reading was said. So don't. It says you're used to running away. Don't run. Why would you run when the thing right? Man.
Everybody gets warned 3 to 4 times before they die.
Not the first 2. I'm not gonna give them shit for, honestly, because that was before they really knew what was happening. So I won't get too mad.
No, I'm gonna give them shit. Okay, so real quick, help me with this. So when people are about to die, their reading gets told back to them. Can they hear that?
I think they can.
I would assume so.
So I took that as this is your last shot. This is your final warning. We're literally telling you don't do this, and then they do it. And then they die.
Well, to the credit of them, the first girl who dies actually that warning happened, and then she gets jump scared off the ladder, which leads to the ladder killing her. Actually,
well, yeah, because you have to have a jump scare because it's a PG-13 horror movie. I get it. I'll take the jump scare. I will not judge or punish her for the jump scare. However, she's still doing the thing.
Well, it happened.
That was before the knowledge was known.
Well, the second guy, then definitely, right? I'll give you the first one, but the second one and beyond, everybody's getting warned.
The second
more times.
The second guy, even not so much. I think the first 2 are kind of just they don't have the idea. After the second guy is what makes them connect the dots. That shit.
I understand, but that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking individually if that thing is do we all agree that they can hear that?
I don't.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Okay, so that's a warning. That is them literally being warned by the thing that's about to kill them. Don't do this. This is your last chance to get out of it. Otherwise, you're gonna.
I don't take it as a warning. I take it as I'm fucking with you. I'm here to murder you. I'm toying with you. I'm gonna play with you and toy with you and end your life.
The first girl heard it, got jump scared, and fell off the ladder, which then of course led to the thing crushing her. So it's okay, I don't think she really had a lot of time to really grasp. This is a warning. Stop looking in this attic thing. That was more no. This is the last thing you're gonna hear.
No, sure, but everybody else does.
Yeah, that I'll give you. That I will give you, especially
Not
Ned.
number 2. Not number 2 though.
Yeah,
Fair
number
enough.
2.
No,
Oh,
he
Yeah,
was
number 2.
no
Wait, hang
number
on, hang
2
on.
died before they had the conversations of that this was the deaths from the tarot
But
readings.
that's not what all right. But what I'm saying though is that I'm saying that everybody is getting warned. That's the whole point I'm trying to make, is that everybody's getting warned. He might not know specifically that's what that is what's happening, but I'm asking. That's why I asked, can they all hear that? Because if they can, then everybody is getting warned before they die not to do the thing. Whether or not they're smart enough to realize it, I don't care. But they're getting warned.
Hang on, I'm looking at the movie now. I have Netflix up actually.
By
Trying
the
to figure
way,
out
this is a
when.
more serious conversation than this movie deserves, but this is going to be a very serious sticking point for me. All right.
Okay, so for the second dude, he's in like the track area where he shouldn't be. Then
Right.
he gets the warning.
Right. So that's
like,
like,
he's
get the
kind of
fuck out, bro.
Quote, yeah, I think he's kind of quote unquote already in trouble there. But
Well,
I
and
guess
then he goes deeper, and then that's when he dies, because he goes deeper into the fucking area that he's not supposed to be in.
Okay, so Luke. Oh wait, but the thing was in his face, and he's like trying to avoid it, which is why he goes.
But that's
into the train here.
also his whole thing too, is that demon's supposed to be leading him into the fucking area that he's not supposed to go. Because she
Yep.
says, "Don't fucking follow the light." He follows the light.
Yeah, shit. Hang on, we're gonna get too much into this actually before we get.
I
I feel like hold on. I know. I feel like we're going down the Quiet Please route, and I don't want to do that right now. Because there's a lot else I want to talk about with this fucking movie. I'm leaving it. Look, okay. How about
I want to get the good things that I like about it, and I'm gonna let you guys have the floor, and then I'll bitch about it later.
I will just end it with this. Okay, best of both worlds. He could have gotten. He probably could have ran out of that area, but he didn't. But he was still kind of deep in it when he heard the warning. All right, best of both worlds.
Fine. Yeah.
You don't think properly when you're.
Well, that's
your
why I'm
blood
saying
pressure's
he
that
may
high.
he may not be smart enough to recognize that it's a warning, but I just wanted to see that we all agree that they are getting warned.
Mm-hmm.
Because later on, you're right, they do wise up and they figure it out, but at that point he doesn't know.
Wise up,
But
okay.
well, you know what I mean. But at that point, he's still getting a warning. That's the whole thing. The whole point I wanted to make. They are given a chance, whether or not they know or not. Besides the point, but they're all getting a warning. All right. I just want to say, like I said, I do appreciate how good this movie looks for how cheap it was made.
It
Kudos
does look
to them.
really good.
Yes.
That lets me know that everybody in this movie, but probably the one that got paid the most is probably Ned. Jacob Battalion definitely got the biggest paycheck.
Definitely.
For him. I like the idea that they're playing with here. It is a cool idea. I'm not a big fan of the execution, but it is a cool idea. The artwork that they put in, particularly on the cards and the way they make everything look, it all fits.
I like the monster design too.
I like
monster designs
some
are
of
really
the
cool.
monster designs. I think they look cooler on the card than they
Oh,
do
yeah.
in
Agreed.
practice. There's a couple of them that we see that I think they all kind of look the same, and they're all presented the same too. They're just dark, shadowy figures until they get like right up on you, and then I get like half a jump scare and a little bit of face. But the ones that do look good, like the Fool and Death, I'm cool with them. I wanted to like the Devil design, but I don't see him that much, so I can't really judge.
I think that's on purpose.
Well, probably because he doesn't look that good.
Well, no,
The
not
devil
even
design
that.
just looks like
the-
a basic ass
yeah,
devil.
the
honestly.
devil to me just looks like the devil that you see lurking in the shadows,
Sure.
and I think
But
that's kind
he's-
of what they went with it. And I just want to say also with you saying like a lot of them look the same.
Yeah.
Tarot decks are really very commonly have they all the artwork is off of a same theme and design. Every deck does have a theme artistically to them. Which is usually a big part of why they're like kind of like called, if I want to get deeper into tarot reading, usually you're called to your deck or you're gifted your deck. So like it doesn't surprise me that they had a lot of these monsters looking similar because tarot decks carry themes amongst all of their cards with their artistry.
Sure, but I'm pretty sure it just has to do with the fact that we made this for $8 million.
I
Yeah.
would beg to differ only because they took time to learn their shit about tarot for making this film. I'm not giving it props and that tarot is a bad thing because that is one thing I hate about like horror films that use tarot is like a tarot are also like pentagrams has a bad stigma around it. And they do try to negate that with how Haley like tries to explain tarot, which I do it like there are parts of it I appreciate that, but then there's other times where it's like all that doesn't matter because nobody's focusing on that. They're just focusing on the bad of this tarot right now. But I just want to say like they know their shit when it comes to the tarot aspect of this film. So I would almost be willing to say that genuinely I think they look similar because the artistry are supposed to carry similarities in a tarot deck.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with the fact that this was made for $8 million because if that was the case and these things looked as impressive as they do on the cards, I would see them. There's a reason they're in shadows. There's a reasons I get close-ups that I don't see the whole thing. It's because they don't look that good because they made them for about
Sure,
$5.
I'm not
And
gonna
I respect
disagree
that.
with that.
I appreciate the effort, and some of them do look good. And don't get me wrong, because I'm not trying to shit on the designs. I'm just saying that maybe 2 to 3 of them, they just kind of like the dude with the lantern, the first one, and then the one that hangs the chick. They all feel the same, and they all kind of look the same to me. And that's a lot to do with the fact that they are, at the end of the day, shadowy figures that I don't see until the jump scare. So I don't even get to see that much of them to really judge. That's why they don't really work for me. However, the Fool, Death in particular, I get to see them in all their fucking glory. I get to see everything. So that lets me know that's where they put the most effort in with their shoestring budget to make these ones look better as opposed to the other ones. And I appreciate that because the effects are pretty fucking good.
Mm-hmm. There
They
was
are
only
pretty
one
good.
time with like the magician where the CG looked like
That's just a dude.
there's a couple times where the CG looks a little rough. Not bad, not where I'm like, oh my god, this is awful. I'm just like, okay, you're showing a little bit of your budget. Like when he was sawing through the one chest, you can see like the CG work of that was a little wonky. Not in a way that really knocked it for me. Just I happened to notice it.
So
But I do want to say like how you're talking about how like they do close ups and like to hide like areas that they didn't CG is one thing I do want to say is like this is a really good film for like intro into filmmaking students to look at because there are a lot of really good techniques used in how to like make films on a lower budget. Like, this is something like I think if we saw this when we were first starting out, this would have given us ideas of how to maybe go and make a horror film and be able to do some cool stuff, but also like not break the fourth wall too much because we don't have the budget to be able to make as cool of costumes and like all of this effect look we want, whether it being practical or CG. I do think there's a lot of good practicality in not necessarily like practical effects, but just practical filmmaking that is shown in this film for future young filmmakers to look at.
well,
Like the lighting effects they do really good with their lighting effects, and those are really easy lighting effects that you could on a low budget recreate if you wanted to.
I don't disagree. I really don't. But I mean, just from watching, I mean, we've all watched plenty of movies, and especially Alien versus Predator Requiem. Like, if you got everything smothered in darkness and I can't see your creature, then there's something wrong.
I mean,
That's supposed
fuck
to
him
be
is
the
still
whole,
brighter than Sinister.
especially something like. By the way, hang on a second. Especially something like this, like that's the whole reason to watch the movie. Like, I already figured that I wasn't gonna like this as soon as you pulled it up and were like, I want to watch this. But I saw The Fool and I was like, all right, well, as long as the creatures look kind of cool, I'll be all right. The ones that I actually get to see do look good. The ones that I don't, they especially when it's just the fucking face and the jump scare, they all just kind of look the same, which is unfortunate because their designs on the cards had me excited. Those cards are sweet. That scene with the magician, it was the only point in the movie where I went, am I watching a James Wan movie? Because it literally felt like Insidious for a second. The way that they were painted up and shit, and the whole vibe to me, I was like, all right, this is Insidious now. I need this scene to end. But yeah, no, I those are the things that I do like about the movie. The premise is cool. The look of the film is really cool. It's a beautifully made shot film for the budget, and the monsters that I do get to see are cool.
Hydrate.
Is that for me talking too much?
It's just
Yes.
hydrate in chat.
No,
Now, I'll actually
thank you,
agree with
Grant.
both of you guys on things I like about this movie because I think the film is actually pretty well made. It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like the High Priest design, actually, even though we don't see it a lot. I don't know. I like the
agree.
design on the car, and when we saw it in person, like, yeah, I think that holds up.
I agree.
I think the dude with the lantern up close wasn't all that special. Some with you there, Luke, but looking at him from a distance actually was interesting, actually, because I like the use of the lantern.
Looks
The
like
hangman was lame. The magician, I actually forgot about the magician. And of course, the fool was my favorite because I like the unnatural way the fool moved, actually.
So the fool
And the way that the face changed too.
The fool was my favorite. Like was my absolute fucking favorite. Of the creatures that we get, followed by death. But Dan and I were sitting there, and Dan was like, "I could just get a movie about just the freaking fool trying to go murder people, and I'd be happy." Like, and basically the whole premise is like trying to outfool the fool,
Hmm.
which I guess
like
explains Ned's character later. I love how we don't
Kinda
even
like-
call him by his fucking name.
His name's
He's
like
just
Paxton
Ned.
in the movie, actually.
Yeah.
And another thing I will give credit
Ned?
for the movie is that at the beginning, the group of friends, I believe that, yeah, I feel like this is a group of friends. I give them credit for that, actually. Like, I actually did feel like, yeah, I feel like this is a group of friends, actually.
Couple
I
of them
believe it.
give each other shit like how I give like Luke and other people shit. Like,
No. No, your dialogue is much better.
well,
I
fair.
will say that.
I'm not acting. I'm being genuine when I
the things
you.
the things that come out of your mouth are way better and way more clever than this fucking bullshit that they wrote for these guys to say.
Sure. And
Like,
I
I-
don't disagree. The dialogue needs help. It needs
You know what I
work.
got? You know what I got out of this movie from the dialogue is this is from people that never went to college.
Maybe so. But
That's what
hang
I
on.
got. Like these
Here's
are
where-
people that have never had friends and never went to college. Nobody talks like that.
Listen, the bad dialogue is why I also like this film. Like I said,
Ugh.
it's good trash. It was like
No.
cringe, funny, bad, good trash.
I
Was I guess
oh my God.
I deadass did kind of believe they were friends, I suppose. So I
Movie's
believe
so
it.
boring.
Hold on, man. I need to cook and talk about what I like about this movie, actually. And I need to get into something I told you I was gonna get into.
Okay.
This I thought would hurt the movie. No, I think it helped because I think the movie knew what it was doing, actually. Because watching film, I was like, this isn't so bad. So far, not so bad. When they get to that point where they're all sitting together, like, why is this happening? What's happening? And like fake Emma Stone realizes it's fate. Capricorns are sent to. I was like, no, come on, shut up. Listen, here's the thing about that. Because I think this was somehow comedic commentary on people who take astrology very seriously. And okay, Morgan, I know you do tarot readings. I don't want to offend people who are about it and stuff like that. But I have my own saying about this. People, sometimes when you take astrology too freaking seriously,
Tarot's
you get on my
technically
damn
not
nerves.
astrology. Just want to let you know that.
Fair
In
enough.
this case, you can combine them like they were explaining. I agree with you. So like, I do think there is meaning behind the zodiacs for my personal beliefs and like my practices. I do think zodiacs do have a part into play into who you are, but it's not like you're just defined to that either. Like there is the very stereotypical thing I hate about Torreses in there, that like all Torreses are like brazen assholes, and a lot of Torres are like earth sign like dialogue in games that I've seen that are like kind of like play the like trope of like you're an earth sign or stuff like that, makes you very brazen and very asshole-ish, and I hate that because I don't agree with that, being a Torres or an earth sign. So I get what you mean. Like some people get too far deep into like the facet of, oh, this is your zodiac.
Yeah, then they make that almost like that's their whole personality, or they judge if you're gonna be my friend or relationship or anything like that based on the zodiac.
Right.
People take it too seriously, and then the nail in the coffin definitely for me was definitely when freaking Ned said something like, "Oh, he's such a Leo." Even though I think even earlier in the film he definitely didn't believe in this that hard. I was like, I think I know what this movie's kind of doing here, and I hate it, but I also laugh at it because it's like I said, it's good trash. I was like, okay, I thought this was gonna be a movie where they
Luke
really
hates us
leaned
so
into
much.
taking the astrological signs very seriously, like taking itself so seriously. But then I saw some of these lines where I was like, nah, they're not actually. So I'm not gonna get super mad at it, but it's still stupid. And then this was the moment in the film that officially convinced me. I take it back. I like Loki like this movie. Yes, we talk about the bridge scene, but it's the lead up. I was laughing so hard. Where first of all, hold on. First of all, the car dies, right? And then she's playing the video, technology will fail you, but don't worry, it's just water under the wrist. Like, no, come on. Oh, but my stomach hurt. I was laughing so hard at that. Like, that was the moment I convinced, you know what? I know what this movie officially is, and I don't hate it. I was expecting, like, what's a good movie to compare it to? I don't know. I was expecting this to hate it, like it was going to take itself too seriously. It wasn't going to be scary. It's going to be really stupid. They were going to make very stupid choices, which of course they did. But I feel like all the other hilarious trash around it, kind of in a way, maybe like I'm not even that mad at their decisions anymore. I just know what the hell I'm in for at this point. It's a positive and a negative somehow. It's just like I officially learned what I was watching. And then don't even get me started on freaking Ned's decision about the whole, forget, I'm going to my place to bunker down or whatever. Like, okay, we already know that
because he's the fool
signs,
of the group.
Time out.
Wait, hey, let me finish real quick. Like we already know. Like okay, dude, everything she said is coming true. How are you not? You fucking idiot!
Yeah.
You idiot! And then of
No,
course, he
but
learns.
like I think honestly, he's probably got the best idea because the whole thing is to just not do what your fucking tarot reading says. So what's the best way to do that? Literally just go lock yourself in a fucking room and go to sleep. That's
He
it.
literally, his things literally say confined spaces, locked in a
right.
room. Come on,
However,
man.
Enclosed
However,
spaces, yeah.
he also goes off by himself. What I'm suggesting is that if everybody does what he wanted
the
to do
group
and they
did it,
all go and just hunker down, they're all looking out for each other. They're all in the same spot. They should be fine. That's literally all they got to do. All they have to do is nothing, and all of them would have been fine. That's it.
But you had to destroy the deck.
You probably don't even have to destroy the deck.
You probably do.
I don't know, because he didn't fucking try. It's just all contrived bullshit to get me from point A to point B. Just to get me back in that house.
Well,
so
look,
fucking the chick from Texas Chainsaw can die again. Thank you for coming. And then I just gotta go through a fucking bullshit finale. That really doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I liked Alma a lot.
I like her. I like her exposition scene a lot, actually.
I wanted to like her, but I knew where we were going with this. So
my whole thought is
just brought her in to die again.
So Alma's whole thing is like she survived. Obviously, like from everything, it sounds like she was the one who did the tarot readings. And Haley, I don't think would have read her own tarot reading if it wasn't for Grant being an asshole to her and being like, "How about you read your own, your own freaking reading?" And left. I think Alma survived her friend, like her group outing, and everybody who died from their time of having these cards was because she was the tarot reader and didn't read for herself.
Right, that's heavily implied, but I don't want you to give this movie any credit because it doesn't deserve it. So stop.
I know. I liked it. I liked that finally when she was reading it that the evil witch spirit bound to these cards that has these cards cursed ended up forcing a reading on her to finally kill her. I think that was pretty fucking sick. I liked it.
I think if all these kids just decide to have a sleepover, we're good.
Yeah, well, consider the fact that Paxton still wants to bunker down in his room and be safe, but he decides to get to his room, and look how Fate was messing around with everything. Like,
sure,
but there's no way he couldn't walk up the stairs. He had to take that elevator.
No, he didn't, because there's that little scene where he's looking for security first, and it's security sitting. Again, I'm giving this movie way too much fucking credit. I don't want to do this, but I feel like I just want to argue. Before he even gets on the elevator, he's looking for security. If security's there and helps him out, he probably doesn't get on the fucking elevator. He just chills with security.
Yeah, but the what's his face? The fool is on his ass. You saw that thing was following him before he even got in the building. Sure. So like he's like, hey, listen, something is coming for me right now.
Right.
So,
he wasn't gonna wait to be back in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I don't have time to wait 15 minutes.
One of these monsters is trying to do. It's trying to get you to do what your tarot reading says, so that way it can kill you. But it also is giving you all the chances in the world to not do that. So basically, just because you're scared of this thing, you're playing into its hands. Whereas if they all had decided, yeah, we're just gonna fucking hunker down, they're fine.
Well, I think it'd have been smarter for him to not freaking go off on his own, just stay with the group, actually, if anything.
Right, no, they definitely should have all stayed together, but they should have all stayed together and just picked a spot.
Well, then he wouldn't be able to come through for his friends in an unexpected way.
Well, then
that made me laugh.
Honestly, the one that fucking told his friends to hunker down, and he would have come through for his friends in an unexpected way.
Honestly,
well, what about everybody else, though? Because not everyone else has the same thing. Like, everyone else could have gone through what they still gone through. Hell, freaking Grant was with fake Emma Stone, and guy just yanked out the window, even though he didn't die.
They went into a fucking haunted house where the deck was, of course.
The house itself, the house is not haunted. The
deck is.
The deck, it technically isn't necessarily haunted. It is cursed. Oh, don't get me fighting on relics.
By the way, I believe in my own headcanon that's like the Warrens' home, or somebody that thinks they're the Warrens, because they just have a basement full of haunted artifacts. Clearly, all those artifacts are haunted or cursed.
I don't think all of them were. I think just the cards were.
I said my headcanon.
Oh, yeah. Okay, my fault. But also, like, even if they don't go back to that house, bunker down back to their dorm, who's to say the same stuff wouldn't happen, though?
You're giving this movie too much fucking credit.
Well, I'm not going to hate on stuff. I'm like, hey, listen, I mean,
I agree
know you hate it.
Even if they were locked up in a freaking room all taking naps, like, That
This
doesn't matter. They
deserve
can
this
come.
much
They
defense.
can. These cursed spirit, what murderers, whatever we want to call them, are gonna be able to get in no matter what. We've already seen that.
Potentially.
Can they manipulate reality? Because the magician part was confused. Like, wait, where did this stage come from and everything like that?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
no,
I
there's
think it
nothing
like
really,
there's like illusions and stuff to like trick your
So
wouldn't it be
your
possible
prey.
that even if you bunker down somewhere not in that house, you can still be tricked into falling into that trap though?
sure,
Yeah.
but then
You're cursed.
But then I've got you, and me all looking out for each other. So I mean, I'm just saying the odds are better as opposed to you being by yourself.
I like to argue that, but we don't know how durable those things actually are. So
Fact.
I'll have to give you that much.
But I'm just saying they have all the opportunities in the world to not die, and because they're dumb, which we all acknowledge, they die. It is what it is. That's the whole purpose of the movie. They're just fucking There's just a body count for these monsters to kill. That's all it is. That's all it is.
My headcanon has to go with, even if they stuck together, didn't go back to the house, they're still screwed. They're cursed. When you're cursed, that's different.
But this movie is boring.
Okay, I want to argue that because that's how you felt. I was entertained. I think this was bad.
I was also having a good. I was going in trying to be like, okay, let's figure out why Luke hates this movie. And the only thing that got me to be like, okay, this is why Luke sent this message is when fucking Paxton shows up at the end in the car. I was like, this is when Luke messaged us.
No, the kills suck. The dialogue is awful. The characters are bad. Some of the acting is pretty bad too. I imagine this might be a lot of first timers here outside of Jacob Batalon, which is probably why he's in it in the first place, to give some name recognition.
Haley also has some pretty good acting chops on her. Not anything massive, but some pretty decent stuff.
The violence and the gore is not great either. I mean, the only time I ever see blood is when they like just spurt it onto whatever. It doesn't even make sense when they do it too.
PG-13.
Right.
I'm just saying. I don't think this was meant to be one of those horror films that was supposed to be bloody. I think it was supposed to be more that spooky,
more psychological.
This is a very implied gore fest. It's a very implied PG-13 gore fest. Because if not, then why am I getting all that blood splatter? You know what I mean? They definitely want to have some violence in here. I just don't like it. What else? The premise is executed awfully. I got characters that show up. I already know are gonna die. I already knew that fucking I only thought, what's her name, Haley? I only thought Haley was going to survive. I didn't think Grant was going to make it, but hey, I got 2 instead of 1.
Funny enough, my first thought was when they were talking about having to break the bond of the witch and everything, or like the previous like deck user. My thought was, because like she did the whole sacrifice of herself that bound herself to the cards. My thought was that Haley was going to have to do the same thing to bind herself to the cards and keep that from happening to save her friends. Because she said that like she's like, oh, my reading says what it always says, that love will be the death of me. And so I thought for the love of, she was going to die to save her friends.
Yeah.
So like that was my initial thought, was Grant and maybe one other was going to survive, but Haley was going to actually sacrifice herself to save them.
Considering how dumb all these characters are, it wouldn't have surprised me if it ended up being like she not sacrifices herself, but there's that moment where she's getting the warning and all she has to do is let's just like walk away. Like maybe she found out Grant cheated or some shit, right? And then all she has to do is walk away and be like, let him get his fucking comeuppance. He's actually not that good of a dude. That's where I thought it was going. And then she decides, actually, I'm in love, and then she dies. But, I got the ending that I got, which fucking sucks.
2 things I want to say real quick, actually, too. One, another thing I'm going to say that's negative, but good negative, because I just find it funny, is that I thought the movie would be a bit more subtle with, the readings and how they die. But, like, no, we got a voiceover. Like, no, this is exactly what they said. I'm okay with it because I kind of didn't remember everything she said in the first place. I'm like, okay, so this movie's not going to be subtle, which made me laugh. Hold on. Other thing, when they defeat the witch, I actually like the visuals on that part.
I do too. And I like how it's kind of like I think that was probably the best dialogue, though expected dialogue of the film is like kind of like, it's time to let go. Kind of like telling her like, this isn't the way to bring your daughter back. How about you just pass the fuck on and go see your daughter?
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Like, it wasn't said like that, obviously, for our chatters and our listeners. But
no,
yeah,
No, I'm done listening to you guys give this movie credit. This movie insults your intelligence so much that she gives you the readings and tells you exactly how they're going to die, right? Then when they get their fucking warning, you get a repeat of what she said, right? Then later on in the movie, you get a fucking video recording of what she said, right? All the while, you're still getting the warnings of what she fucking said. Wow, I wonder how they're going to fucking die. Please, fucking tell me one more time. Oh, you can't be subtle and not have that? Make me sit there and think, oh man, that dude went to the restricted area. What did she say earlier? Oh, she's a rule breaker. No, you have to get that. And then I had to have that come to Jesus moment with fucking Haley where she goes, yeah, he died this way because this is what I said. She fucking tells you again. This movie is so stupid. It literally thinks you're dumb. It thinks you are the dumbest fucking people on the planet watching this PG-13 horror movie. It sucks. Stop it. Both of you right now. Stop. I'm not going to listen to you guys fucking try and give this movie any more credit. Stop it. It sucks. And it's boring. Nothing happens. Nothing that you can't see coming from 1,000 miles away. Stop it. You stop it right now. I've had it with the both of you.
You see it where
I've had it
it's
with
coming
you.
from. Like we see it where it's coming because they tell us right from the fucking get-go what's gonna happen. So they give you a lot of information at one going, and I know a lot of.
No, it's not. No,
They-
a lot of
I know-
information. It's
do you
the
know
same
how many-
information over and over again?
Luke,
You
you
know-
talk really big for someone who can't figure out why John Krasinski dies in A Quiet Place.
Fucking quit it. You stop
No,
it.
you quit it,
You
okay?
stop it right now. All
No,
right?
there's logical reason for why that happened, though.
That is
There really
no.
is.
You
All I
quit it.
have to say
Hang
is,
on.
guys,
Now,
my
Time out.
No.
Is A Quiet Place a good movie?
yes.
Then these are not the same.
Yeah, but I'm questioning your intelligence, right? Okay, listen. I'm gonna like
Fuck
this.
out of here.
I'm not gonna deny these characters are dumb because they are.
agreed. If
Some
they
of them
are
are dumber
dumb,
than others.
100%.
The movie
They really
thinks
are.
you're dumb. The movie literally thinks you're dumb because it has to keep beating you over the head with what is going to happen. No shit.
Well, some of us
No
don't have
shit, they're
great
gonna die.
memory. I don't fucking remember
I
what
was
you
gonna
said in the
say,
very
I was
beginning.
gonna say, I have a lot of
This movie's
80.
only an hour and a half long.
Luke, I
What do you
have
want
a
from me? I don't remember what I had for breakfast.
Luke, I have a lot of ADHD friends who won't remember what they fucking said 30 seconds ago. Like,
All right, perfect.
I'm gonna be
I got
honest.
the perfect movie. I got the perfect movie for you to watch. 10 out of 10. Tara.
And
Watch it.
and honestly, I almost wonder. Now, you're gonna hate me for saying this because you probably think I'm giving a movie too much
I
credit.
already do for
However-
making me watch this shit. I'm just kidding,
However,
by the way,
however,
just so nobody thinks.
I told you there was gonna be a lot of bickering tonight.
Oh my
But sometimes
god.
it makes for a really fun show. But no.
That's why
so-
she picked it.
Yeah, it is. But no. So what I'm getting at though is, a part of me wonders if the way that they constantly kept repeating the lines and everything was also because we live now in an era of short form video and people have short attention spans, and maybe it was just to help keep the people who have those short attention spans are like, wait, what the fuck, I'm lost.
Yeah, Gen Zers who are in high school that don't know any better. Yeah, no, this is a perfect movie for them. I totally agree. This
It's
was
not
made
just
for
Gen
them.
Zers. It's not just the
It
Gen
was
Zers
definitely
anymore.
made for them. But this is made for them. It's not made
Oh,
for
sure.
us.
It's made for the teens. I'm not denying that. We all knew that when we first fucking saw it on Netflix before we even made our roster for October.
I guess maybe in that respect, maybe this is an okay movie, but no.
Luke, let
No.
me ask you a question. Would you have liked it if they didn't repeat like her sayings, and then maybe if you went back to the beginning and listened to what she said, and you like, oh, that's why this. Oh, okay. Now
Yeah,
that makes
I think it would have had a lot more credit because Scream does that too. Scream always has that scene where they come together and they go, "Oh shit!" Like it's following these rules. Like, yeah,
Gotcha.
100%. That's more subtle. That's a little more thought out, right? And then you could go back and be like, "Oh yeah, he did go into the restricted area. Oh yeah,
Subtle?
he did do this."
I
It's a
don't-
lot
Scream?
more. I
So
said it's a lot more subtle
more
than
subtle.
what they were doing.
Oh, I know. We're not talking after that Scream 6 dialogue. about the
I'm
requel.
saying that you're confusing the two things. I'm saying that Scream has that scene where they come together and they figure out what the rules are. Yes or no?
That is some of the first one, right?
I'm talking about all of them. They all have a scene like that.
That is fair. That is fair. They
Okay,
do.
now take Scream after that and throw it away because I'm not talking about it anymore. Now I'm talking about this movie. All right. So if this movie took that stuff out, just gave me that scene, then you have to go back and be like, oh, did he do that? Especially if you don't remember. You'd be like, oh, did he go into the restricted area? Did they do this? Yeah, they did. Oh, shit. All right, cool. That is a little bit more subtle than fucking telling me over and over and over again what I already know.
I am not throwing away Scream because some of the dialogue in Scream is not very subtle. It's beating you over the head in that scene. I'll give you that much. But my God, that dialogue was stupid.
Dude,
I think the
not the
That's,
first
biggest.
one, not the first
that's
one.
the only example I can think of where they do that. All right. Are there other ones? You want to help me out here? Because I'm not saying anything about Scream. I'm not trying to get into a Scream debate here. I'm just saying that has that scene like this one has, and it doesn't do that like this one does.
All right, whatever. I just still find it funny. I just find it funny. Like, all right, we're not going to be subtle here.
I think the most important thing to like remember and think of when you're watching this film is
It's
that
the most animated I've gotten in a while.
we are extremely aware of the premise. We are extremely aware that this is a horror film where these dumb college students do not. Like there was a time I did have to remind myself of it. Remember, Morgan? They don't realize it's a horror film. They don't realize it. Like you it's almost like in D&D when you the character has knowledge about the game that your character doesn't. So it's like almost like player knowledge versus character knowledge. Like sometimes you have to remind yourself.
I don't know if I can give them credit for that. This is a world where horror movies exist, and I'm pretty sure these people
Sure.
have watched horror movies.
Oh, and that's also fair. It is done in the modern era. So you would think there would be a little bit more sense in that regard as well. I'm not disputing any of that. I'm still saying they are dumb. Like I 100% agree with y'all. I'm just saying we know it's a horror film and they are the ones living it. We're not.
Luke, you alright over there?
I mean, no. I mean, sure, but write it better.
And that's fair. The script feels like a draft. Like it
No,
feels
the script feels like they just slapped tarot on it and just went, all right, figure it out. You know what I mean? Which fair. Fair. That's what they did with the first Ouija. Like I get it. I understand the marketing. I understand why they do it. $8 million. What'd you say this made?
Like over 40 something like?
49.1 mil.
Hell of a profit. Like I get it. It did its job. Fine. Whatever.
And there is some good as much as it sucks to say for you, Luke, there is good things.
No, I don't
no,
hate, no.
like,
I
there's
think
good
things in here.
there's good really good things for young filmmakers to go look at to learn how to do
sure.
for a low budget.
No, I'm sure I would hope
And that's where when
everybody
I was
on this movie
when I first
is
started
either first time or like second or third time in any part of this movie. I would hope, honestly.
Sure.
And if
sure.
that's the case, yeah, sure, fine. I don't hate this movie. I really
Yes, you
don't.
do.
But
Yes, you do.
it's
Yes,
not
you do.
good. It's
You
not
hate
good.
this movie.
I hate that you guys made me watch it. I hate.
No, you hate this movie.
You agreed to it. You guys could have made other suggestions.
Are going out of your way to defend this as much as you are too. That I can't stand. Oh my god.
It's good trash. It's
No!
just good trash.
Ah,
Come on,
Ah.
Luke, don't act like you've never watched a movie that you knew was bad, but you just couldn't help but like it.
I do it all the time. Yeah, no,
There you
100%.
go. That's what this is.
That's
for
not
me.
what this is.
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay, real quick while they're arguing, guys, I want to ask Tyler. I know you're in chat, and I know that you watched this right before we went live. That way, you could be caught up in with the show. Did you like it?
You
Is
idiot.
it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Or do you think it was just some fun trash? I want to know. And if anybody else in chat has already watched this as well, please let us know. Please let us know. If you're listening on Spotify or watching on YouTube, put it in the comments, please, on our episode. We want to know your thoughts. If you've seen this, what do you think about it? How'd you like it and everything else? So,
Shut up,
Luke, go away.
I will be real with you here. Like I said, I was ready to hate this because listen, me and Netflix horror movies have a bad relationship. Me and Netflix horror movies have a relationship like how I feel about. Oh wait, I'm gonna probably offend somebody. No, it's my type. Not to mention I got my wife now. How I used to feel about blonde women. Not my thing, but once in a while, you found someone who you thought, okay. The Fear Street trilogy, I've gaslight that. I've glazed that movie so much, and y'all know how much I like it. It's Netflix original, and I love it. But other than that, when I find
good
Netflix
trash.
horror films, trash. Okay, fine.
They're not all good.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like I love those movies, but like, you know, they're better than this.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, yes. I guess I think I might be the biggest fan of those movies, honestly. Then, but yeah, me and Netflix horror films. Like,
Excuse me.
I let down after let down. You know, you watch Veronica because you saw something online say that was the scariest shit. That shit had some creepy moments, but it was not that scary. No, it wasn't. You watch Eli, good solid premise, but it sucked. Like you keep being let down over and over again, and then you watch this one. It's like, all right, let me get ready to hate it. But then suddenly I'm just like, it's just fun. I was expecting trash, like crushingly boring trash. I didn't think I was gonna get hilariously dumb but funny good trash.
And I was kind of in the same boat, Dreaded, like not necessarily because of like my love-hate relationship with like Netflix horror, but like I knew when I suggested this that this is a teenage horror film. Like those are hit or miss. Usually a lot of miss, right? And I also got some of like the Ouija vibes from it. And I will also color me intrigued because it had to do around tarot, and I'm into tarot. So that aside, I also went in with Luke's comment of this fucking sucks. I hate that we watched this. God damn it, fuck Morgan, basically.
Oh, hey,
so
we're not Morgan, me and you, we're not stupid. This is Luke's fault. He brought our expectations super low with his hatred, so when our expectations went down, we were okay with what we got. It's your fault.
He played himself. Yeah.
Wow.
See, because I wanted to like this. At least, at the very least, I wanted to really enjoy the monsters and the character and the creature designs. And I do like the ones that I get to see, but I don't get to see all of them. So if I could have gotten to actually see the monsters and have them do a little bit more, I would probably think this a little more highly of this movie. 100%. If I could have seen more of the creatures and the creatures would have done a little bit more, I would like this movie more. So in the trailer for this movie, they show the scene when they're in the car with the sensor going off. I remember watching that trailer and thinking that actually might be a pretty good scene.
Then I watched the movie. I'm gonna be honest though, that was a really unique use of like modern technology I think I've seen in a horror film. Yeah. It's like the bumpering of the car and like that sensor. I did think I was like, that's a really unique like way to like on a budget show that there is shit happening around you in the vehicle without having to show it and to keep your budget lower.
And that's what took me out of it, is the fact that I didn't see it. When the thing does smash its head into the fucking windshield, it looks like a Dementor from Harry Potter. And then they show it fucking running across the fucking beams of the bridge. It just looks like another cloaked dark figure that I've seen in everything that's got one of those in there. And then I get the fucking jump scare at the end with the face. I was like, it's disappointing. That's so there's what? How many creatures are there? 7? 6 or 7?
The Hermit, the Hangman, Death, Devil, Fool,
and the Magician.
Oh yeah. I keep forgetting about the Magician.
Okay, so what is that? 7?
And then and if we technically want to count the one bound to it for Alma.
Sure.
And on top of that, then we also get the card of the 7 swords that actually is what kills her.
Which we didn't see.
There is 7 creatures, and I get to actually see 3 of them. That is disappointing. That's less than 50%.
We get to see the witch really well as well.
I'm not counting her.
I will say the Hangman is really not special, so like we really don't even. No, you know what the Hangman really looks like? It looks like a Wendigo from Until Dawn.
Yeah, I was honestly trying to think of like where does because the design does remind me of something in the horror realm, and I couldn't think it might be that.
Yeah, look at like this. I have the still image here. I'm like, this is the Until Dawn Wendigo here.
So, yeah,
I can see how it definitely has Wendigo vibes for sure.
So 3 out of the 4 do it for me. The other 4 I don't see that much, which I have to hold against the film, because the whole thing for me to even watch this would be to see the creature designs. I really don't see them, but I do like what I see.
I will also say that censor part, while being good, I think belonged maybe in a different horror film.
I do too. No, I do too. And that was the whole point I was trying to make. In the trailer, it actually looks kind of suspenseful. In the movie, it sucks.
Yeah, I think like maybe with a different
I like the idea
antagonistic creature or something like that, I'd be okay with it. Like maybe something that's actually monstrous hunting them down.
Right.
We just supernatural.
We just watched the trailer for Werewolves, and I watched the Wolfman trailer. Either one of those, if that had a scene like this in there, perfect.
Yep, that's a creature for that actually.
Yep.
What is it called? Do you guys know what skinwalkers are?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't say that. Don't say that out loud. Are you out of your fucking mind?
It's fine. So
SWs. We call them SWs around in this household.
For your sake, the SWs. I think that car scene would have been really good for a horror film about them.
Sure.
I think
Yeah,
that would have been
anything but
really
these
intriguing.
anything but these bargain bin motherfuckers.
That contortionist, though, for the Fool, did a real good job.
Cause that's where the
Yeah.
fucking budget goes. Yeah, you look amazing. We put all the effort into your costume. We're gonna show you, dude. You're gonna get all the fucking screen time. Get out there and scare a little kid. Of course, that's the one that you get to see because it's a fucking clown. Of course, another clown. Wow, I
Technically-
haven't seen this before.
Technically,
A scary clown.
I
in a
would
movie.
consider them more of a Joker than a clown, like a
What is-
jester. I mean, more of a jester.
Potato, Morgan.
I mean,
No.
there's difference in design. Just saying.
Whatever. Stop defending this movie.
No, it's good trash. I was ready to hate it, man.
Can we score this now?
You know what? Fine, let's score it because truth be told, Luke, you're already mad. You might get even more mad when I give this movie.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's fucking score this shit. I'm done.
Luke, you go first.
It's a fucking 4 at best.
Oh
It is
my
a
God! Little
4.
Things was still lower.
It's a 4. It is a 4, and not a good 4. It's a bad 4. It is a boring 4. And the only reason why it's as high as it is at a 4 is because of those creature designs that I like. I do appreciate what they were able to do with the budget. I will give the filmmakers credit. The writers, no. Absolutely not. I will give them no credit at all for this fucking movie. It's so boring. So boring.
Go for
All
it.
right.
Cody.
4.
Morgan, what's yours?
Oh no, go for it. I'm still deciding.
I'm low-key also deciding. I know what range. I'm deciding on
I know
which
the range
number.
I'm in too.
Just give it a 7 and move on.
Hey, that's how did you know that's what I was thinking?
Because I know you.
I'm between
Okay.
a 6 and a 7. So.
I was thinking 6.5 or 7.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
the only reason it's that high because yes, it's bad, it's stupid. But when I say good trash, for me, good trash is just like I just can't full on hate it. Like I was entertained watching it. I was actually into it at points. Like not for a good majority, like no, I'm actually sort of into it. Even if this has a lot
Yeah.
of stupid shit exactly. And there's
Agreed.
there's one particular person like kill her, she will not be missed. So
Like,
good
I'm
trash
gonna
goes a
put
long
6.
way.
I'm gonna put 6.5 for me because there was a lot in here that I liked. I liked a lot of the practical like filmmaking ideas that were in here and that were executed. Because again, I think that's part of the reason why I like this film so much is watching. Is like I was expecting it to have less production quality than it had when we were walking into it.
If it had less, this movie would be lower.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely agree. 100% agree with you there, Dreaded. The fact I wasn't expecting for it to be a teen horror film on Netflix, to be a
By the way,
film with such
this
production.
is not an actual
high quality
Netflix film.
production.
This was released in theaters.
Correct.
Let's
This
just
is
make
not
that clear.
original. This is not a Netflix
Okay.
original. I thought it was at first. It is not.
It is not.
But yeah, I agree, Dreaded. If this did not have the production quality that it had for the visuals and the lighting and the way they
Designs.
utilize their shots to like be able to work with an $8 million budget, if it didn't have that sort of stuff, I actually would hate this film more if it was a lower quality. So I do
Mhm.
agree the dialogue could use some work. I do think that the cast, our younger cast members, a lot of this is maybe a debut or maybe their second, third films, maybe first. We'll see what happens.
I'm not mad at any of that.
Yeah, no, not at all. But this is a film like I do agree it could be better, 100%. But it's also not the worst film I've ever seen. I've seen way worse in this genre. So
I
grab.
like this
Yeah,
way
grab.
more. I like this way more than I like Joker 2, and that's really saying something.
I don't think I can go that far, but I will
I
say
will.
a comparable for me right now is Borderlands, and I will watch Borderlands over this.
Oh, I will watch this before I
I'll
watch
watch this
Borderlands
before I watch
again.
Borderlands again.
All right, well there you go. That should tell you everything you need to know about where we stand.
Yep.
Fucking weirdos.
You're the weirdo here. You're the minority right now.
I disagree. I feel like Tyler's on my side, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, Tyler Furl. Okay, like what would your rating be? I suppose 'Cause
Out of
I've been
10,
waiting to hear what
yeah. If you
Uh,
rate it out
I-
of 10.
Like I see could have been better, but I'm like really curious. Like what's your rating there? Like, are you team me and Morgs, or are you team Luke?
Watch
Oh.
him be right in the middle. He puts like a 5.
Any good.
Shit.
But yeah, good.
No,
good
hey, look,
trash.
you are right. There are worse movies out there.
Yeah,
Clearly.
very much.
My biggest thing is like it's fucking boring. It's just boring. There's like there's no anything in here. Like if you're gonna be bad, be bad. Don't be boring. Boring is
Yeah.
worse.
Funny enough, I feel like that's what I thought about If. I thought If was incredibly boring.
I will agree. If is another one that suffers from the dialogue and the writing, for real.
It also could have just used better pacing, like moving the
Mhm.
story, having a little bit more
Yeah,
energy
sure.
behind it for sure.
I think somehow bad horror movies actually sometimes go a bit further than bad other movies.
Sure.
Somehow I feel like horror is the one genre that's like, you can be bad, but somehow that also makes you kind of fun to watch.
Yeah,
Well,
Like,
and
you make a
sometimes-
bad action film or a bad
sometimes
romance or something like that.
Sometimes the bad works out in the horror's favor somehow. You know, I have seen films like that where it's like you're filmed like shit, but it works.
I mean, for me, it's just be entertaining. Like, don't be boring. Have some inventive kills. You know, have an inventive monster, whatever the fuck you're doing, and we'll be good. I can forgive the bad acting. I can forgive the dialogue. I can forgive all that shit. Just don't be boring.
I feel like mine,
It's
what
just
made
weird.
it
I
not boring
wasn't
for me
bored,
was
Luke.
literally I think, Luke, the stuff you say I feel is valid, but I feel like the way they were bad is why it worked for me. Because like it was bad, but it was like funny bad in a way. It's like it's hard to explain my mindset of like what kind of bad this was. It was just that kind of bad. It's like, no, I'm just having fun with it, honestly.
I'm sorry. The dialogue is that bad to me. And then the fact that I only get to see 3 out of the 7 monsters, like, come on, you blue balled me.
Maybe it's because like the whole astrology thing, they were like taking it quote unquote seriously, but still like kind of making fun of it.
The
I
hermit
think
isn't
that
one who
low
gets
key
close.
might be it.
The jump scares sucked. I did not enjoy any of the jump scares. Not that they're bad. Like they're not the Poltergeist remake with the squirrel. They're not that. Just like they just didn't do anything. They didn't do anything for me. It was all just very by the numbers. It's a safe cash grab. Got a recognizable name. Got one recognizable actor, maybe 2. I'm sorry, I don't know the Haley's actress that well. And just we're just gonna do this safe horror movie.
I have a question. I mean, Morgan, you hate rap music, so you might not get it. But Luke, Grant, does Grant at all remind you of a young J. Cole?
Hold on.
Look up J. Cole like back in like the early 2010s and stuff like that.
No, I can see it.
Yeah, because I was like, why
I
does
see
he
it.
look like freaking J. Cole back in the
Yeah.
day?
I can see it.
All right, we'll stop talking about rap music. Mama, don't get mad. I'm just messing.
But yeah, I have no more
This
thoughts. Fuck this
dude.
movie.
Yeah, I think I'm done too. I would watch this movie again.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Morgan, final thoughts.
All right, y'all. We're the Wannabes podcast. I'm Morgan. That's Luke, and this is Dreaded. And no matter how much we yell at each other on this show, we do love each other.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Guys, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. By
No, we're
searching
not
up,
calling it that.
or
Yeah,
by,
put your X's up, bro. This is what you got to do. Every time you X, be like, yo, I just X today. When on X, you got to do it.
yeah, I understand he's the dumb one here.
Try it
So,
out one time. Just do it one time. One time. Put up your X. Come on.
I only do that at
Wakanda forever.
I only do that at Excision concerts.
I'll
Sorry,
accept it. I'll accept it.
but
Excision concerts. The fuck?
Brad does not listen to his EDM. Anyway,
I know who it is.
Wait, hold on. Who did
I
you
know
say?
who it is.
Who did you
Excision.
say? Oh, okay.
Anyway, so with that being said, guys, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or
Hey, we ain't
X.
trying to start doing music shit over here, okay? I know rap music, all right? I'm already.
I'm not
already loving
talking.
it.
I'm not talking rap
All right,
music, dumbass.
We don't turn this into the wannabes musician style. Like, let's not do that.
I'm literally
just-
the musician of the group.
I fucking see you're everything. That's not fair. All right, fucking stop it. That doesn't count. Jesus, your credentials are stupid. Let's go.
All right, everyone. Follow us by searching up Podcast Wanna or Wannabes Podcast. We'll show up either way. Go ahead and give us a follow on our social media channels because when we're going live, we'll let you know on there. You'll know what we're reviewing, what day, what time. It's always Wednesdays at 8 p.m. unless something else comes up and we have to move it or cancel the show. But that doesn't happen too often. But if it does, you'll be able to know by following us on our social medias. You can also
Can't wait for
catch
this one to be on Spotify.
you can also catch the replays over on YouTube. You can also watch us live on YouTube if that's what you prefer on your home TV system or whoever you prefer watching us. But yeah, make sure you head over there, give us a subscribe if you haven't already. Like the live video that's currently going on, and even after the fact, because it helps us unlock emotes for the people over there and help support us. And then, as Luke mentioned, you can find us over on Spotify by searching up the Wannabes podcast. That way you can listen to us on the go. This review will be up on Tuesday. You'll be able to watch us on the go if you missed it or if you're just joining us. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. We will catch you next week on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, reviewing Venom 3 or Venom: The Last Dance.
Oh, Luke. All right,
Oh,
just be ready.
boy.
Just be ready.
You're probably gonna get more of what you got today. That's all I'm saying.
Yep, I'm ready for that. I am ready
Be
for that.
prepared.
Also, everyone, for future reference, especially in my presence, don't say that damn name, the SWs. Do not say that full name. Say it in your own time away from me.
Anyway,
Seriously.
all right, everybody. But for now,
Do not offend my son.
we'll catch you next time. And don't forget the popcorn, all right?